Hey everybody, I'm really happy that you're here. I want to welcome all you little witchlings out there, anyone who is watching this who's new to Wicca or witchcraft, anyone who has felt like they're home and they feel like they found their path, but maybe you don't know where to go or how to begin. So I've been doing this for a long time, since I was about 13 years old. So I can tell you from my experience, maybe some tips that could help you on your own path. It's really exciting when you're beginning on a new, spiritual path, when you're beginning on something that just makes you feel alive and excited, and you feel magic all around you. You feel the goddess, you feel the god, and it's an amazing feeling, but it's also frustrating because you don't always know what to do or how to go about doing a ritual and things like that. So I thought that I would share some of my experience with anyone out there who is new to Wicca, new to witchcraft, and may not know where to begin. I'm going to try my best to keep this video at a moderate length and not to ramble on too much, but this is a topic that gets me really excited because I love hearing about people finding their spiritual home. I think it's so important living in our world today to find something that makes your spirit happy, and I think that Wicca or witchcraft or paganism or really anything under that umbrella can be a place that makes you feel good and brings positivity into your life. So welcome. Got some incense lit for you, have the altar all ready for you. So welcome to Wicca, welcome to witchcraft. So 3 main points that I wanted to start it with, and I do have some lists here because I wanted to think this through. I really wanted to share some points with you that are worthwhile. So start right away. That was the first main point that I have for you, is to begin right away. A lot of people, a lot of authors and other vloggers, and I mean, their opinion is just as valid, don't get me wrong. This is just my opinion. But a lot of people say not to dive in right away. They say read and study and get ready. But I know from my own experience, I learn by doing. And there's a lot of people out there who are the same. So my suggestion is to jump right in. Jump in. Keep it simple. Keep it pure, if you will. Just jump in, because you don't want to spend all your time studying and being afraid to do it, or to constantly study and never actually do it. You want to be able to do it. You want to enjoy this. This is a very hands-on faith. It's a very hands-on spirituality. So you want to dive right in. You are the most important tool. I'm not calling you a tool, but you are the most important tool. You are the tool. Like, I keep saying it now because it's kind of stuck in my brain, but it's true. You don't need a bunch of fancy stuff. I've amassed things over the years, yes, and a lot of witches you'll see who are sharing about their paths probably have also amassed a lot throughout the years. But a lot of it, I bet, for even other witches, it's been found, it's been given to you, it's been thrifted. You just end up collecting things. Once people know you're into this, they're going to start giving you these kind of items as gifts, especially your friends or family who are accepting your path, of course. So yeah, you kind of amass things. But when you're beginning, all you need is yourself. All you need is your intent. I know having tools and having all like the glam and the glitter is fun. I get that. I was that person. But I've learned through the years, and I wish someone told me, that you do not need all these tools. All you need is your intention in your hands. They are the most powerful tool you have. They can make lots and lots of magic. Be in nature is my third point, because that's what this faith is, right? Like, that's what being a witch is. It's about being in nature. It's accepting nature. And so be in nature. Don't spend all your time inside. Get outside. Get out there. Get out right now. Take me with you. Go outside. Go outside. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter if you live in the city. I've had the pleasure of living both, I guess. I've spent some time of my witchy life in the city, and I've spent my time out in the country or on the outskirts where I am now. And you can enjoy nature in the city. Sometimes you have to work a little harder, but the charm of a city is also very magical. So don't forget to go out in nature and spend some time out in nature. So once you're kind of getting into it, you start to begin thinking about goddesses and gods. So I'm talking about a spiritual version of witchcraft here. There's all kinds of witches, all kinds of different kinds of pagans and Wiccans and everything. Like, there's so much variety in this path, which I think is part of the charm of being a witch. But I guess I'm just speaking from a spiritual, pagan, Wiccan, witch, I don't know what I am, perspective. So when I found this path, I wanted to connect with Goddess and I wanted to connect with God. And I think the simplest way for you to do this is to connect with the sun and the moon. Of course, the moon is Goddess, the sun is God, and the earth is kind of, to me, a combination of them both, because we need them both to have the earth. So I see that as kind of the meeting place. And we're here at the meeting place, which is a great spot to be. So spend time in the moonlight. Go outside on the full moon and spend some time out there. An easy little thing for you to do is make some moon water. So take some water. It can be from the tap. We don't all have a stream or a lake beside us or the ocean. So just get some water, fill it with good intention, and put it in the moonlight and see kind of what results you get when you use that water as like a holy water for cleansing, stuff like that. You can do the same in the sun. So go outside and really feel the sun and just think about all those good qualities of masculinity, all those qualities of the God, and think about how that applies to you and how you connect with the God, and just feel the sun, embrace the sun. The earth, walk barefoot. Go out and walk barefoot. Put your hands in the dirt. Put your fingers in the snow if it's snowing, or go outside and sit in the rain or walk in the rain. You want to get to know your local plants. This is something, like, I'll be honest with you, I have for years, and I am in my 30s now, for years and years, just bought herbs online. I went through I need to have all those really cool ones that you hear about from Europe, you know, the mandrakes and all of that kind of stuff. I wanted all that, and I mean, I still use it sometimes too, but I guess what I've learned is that you don't need to do that. Like, learn about your local plants. Learn about the herbs that grow in your garden. What are those weeds that are growing around you? What kind of magical properties do they have? I was really shocked when I started looking into what was in my own backyard. And that has really enriched my path where I am now. So I couldn't imagine if was just starting out and I had the chance to really get to know all those plants and herbs that are around me naturally, that I can go pick and harvest and dry and use those to help me follow the wheel of the year. So definitely get to know your plants outside. Look for signs in nature. So this goes back to the whole being outside in my first point. I hope this isn't too rambly, guys. It's been a while since I've did a video. I'm just going to do a side tangent because this is what's going on with me. It's been a while. I've been busy. I applied for school. And then on top of that, I just found out that Jack White, who is like my favorite music man, is coming to Atlantic, Canada, which is crazy because I just went all the way to Toronto to see him, and now I get to see him an hour away. So I'm super pumped about Jack White. I'm doing this video. I'm thinking about you witchlings. I'm thinking about how much I love you guys and how I love talking to everybody on YouTube, but I also have this going on in my back burner. So don't mind me if I'm a little skittish today. Anyways, look for signs in nature. Go outside. It's kind of like an open eye meditation. So I just want you to go outside and wonder. Just wonder where you can, maybe where people don't think you're an escaped crazy person or anything, but just go outside and look at the trees, tune out a little bit, see if you see any faces in there, see if you see anything, you know, a special kind of bird show up or a butterfly. Just pay attention to kind of what's going on around you and just soak in all that nature, because I think you'll get messages that way. Don't be afraid to worship dark gods and goddesses. So once you start getting into learning your pantheons or picking a god or goddess, and you don't even have to do that, but if you do decide to, if you feel really called to a certain god or goddess, go for it. Follow that. Don't let anybody tell you who you can and can't worship, okay? Because I went through that, and I'm telling you, don't even put up with that. Worship who you want. So after the whole god and goddess part, we get into rituals and spells. So a couple of tips for rituals and spells for a new person would be cast a circle. Just do it. You're not going to mess it up. And if you do mess it up, so what? So what? The goddess and god or the energy around us, or whatever we want to call it, has so many more important things to do than to smite you for maybe calling earth air or something like this. It's not a big deal. Do it. Cast a circle. You want to invoke your elements. You can make it simple. Like, I call the element of earth, the direction of north. Spirits of earth, join me in this circle tonight or today. And you could just do that all the way around. Light candles, or just envision yourself in a safe space. Call the goddess and god and just ask them, just talk to them like we're talking right now. Just say to the goddess, I'd like you to join me today in my working. Call to the god, do the same thing. Then do an activity, whether you do a little spell or you do a meditation. Just sit in that space, see what it feels like. And don't be disappointed if you don't feel anything, or if you feel weird or awkward. It takes a while. You're shifting yourself. You're shifting your spirit. You're waking it up. It's going to take a little while. It still feels awkward for me sometimes. You could do a cakes and ale in your circle, which is always fun. Have a little toast, have a little drinkaroo, or, have a little snack. And then, of course, close out your circle by thanking all the elements that you've invoked and the goddess and god, and then moving on your merry way. Cast a smell. Cast a smell. I'm casting some smells with this frankincense. Well, you can cast a smell. The gods aren't going to judge you. But you could cast a spell. And just be smart about it, Do it on yourself. Do it on a plant. Something like this. Give the plant. Do a spell to infuse a house plant with all that good energy that you want to bring in, and ask it to grow with your spirituality, and put all those things that you want to gain on this journey into that plant. And as it grows, maybe your spirituality will grow right along with it. Or do some form of spell in your house to bless it and make it feel safe. Stuff like that. Work your way up. Find magic in the day today. So that's just, I'll give an example. I have a dark aesthetic in my home, and I've been wanting to get another bird skull for my Samhain altar. And I've been kind of just hoping a bird would just drop somewhere, I guess. But anyway, I wasn't going to kill it, you know what I mean? So I was asking Goddess for a while now, please I would love to find a bird skull on a beach, one that's been dried up from the sun, or, I'd just love to find something. And then I found one. I was out with my parents and I found one, and it was in perfect shape and it's beautiful. So absolutely look for magic in those little moments when you really hope for something and you get it, or you miss someone and they message you. Let's find the magic in that stuff. I feel like I'm talking really fast, but I really don't want this video to be super long. Sabbats. My favorite thing. I love the Wheel of the Year. The Wheel of the Year does not match up to where I live in Canada. Imbolc is not the beginning of spring. We're still in the dead of winter. But still, I love, love, love the Wheel of the Year. And I love finding ways to adapt it to where I live, to myself, to my personality. I love following the wheel. Just making sure nothing's on fire back there. I love it. So that was a big part. That was a big excitement for me. I get excited talking about it right now. I love celebrating the Sabbats. So celebrate it. Celebrate the Sabbats. You can do it in big ways, like doing a ritual. You could invite like-minded friends over and do one together. You could do it simple. You could do a Mabon, something small for Mabon, like going to a farmer's market and buying some fresh vegetables and taking some time to appreciate the harvest. Or maybe if you live somewhere rural, you could drive to the countryside or visit a farm or go pick apples. Samhain, you could go to the cemetery. You could spend some time with loved ones. You could go and say some prayers for them, or just think of them in your home. Or you could just do it by celebrating Halloween and just kind of secretly wishing everyone blessings on the Samhain night. Stuff like that. Yule, you could do some charity stuff. You could go and buy a candle to represent the god and just kind of light it. No one will even know what you're up to. So there's big ways to celebrate, but there's also little ways, and it's all about what you take from it. It's not necessarily what you're doing, it's just that you did something to celebrate and what you take from that. Pay attention to seasonal changes. So attune yourself with those changes. When do you start getting that bit of fall in the air? Is it before the calendar says? Is it after? Pay attention to that. When the first snow happens, pay attention to that. Just kind of watch the wheel of the year turn and kind of see how it makes you feel. How are you feeling when it's light and, you know, we're at Imbolc and we're thinking about little seedlings growing? Are you feeling energized? Are you feeling excited? Or are you still kind of feeling beat down from winter and you're looking at the Sabbath as a way to just celebrate something, to bring some light into the darkness? So just kind of pay attention. So I wanted to, this brings me to the part where I wanted to talk about 3 books. And I left it to 3 because I'm a total book Burke. I cannot talk. English is supposed to be my first language, but you wouldn't know it. I try to keep it to 3 books because I am a book nerd and I could go on about books forever. So these were just 3 books that helped me when I started out, and one that I found later on that I wish I had when I started out. So the first one is Seasons of the Witch. I've mentioned this in other videos. I adore the rituals in this. They're very simple. You can take all kinds of things from it. For years, the group of people that I used to work with, we actually worked right out of this book. This was the book that we used. Our rituals were wonderful. Some of my favorite Sabbath memories are from rituals from this book. So I really recommend it as a great book on the Sabbaths, and it's called Seasons of the Witch by Gail Duff. So you can check that one out. Of course, this old tried and true. Lots of people have seen this, read this. I really think it's a great starting point, especially if you're interested in Wicca and if you're interested in witchcraft. This is also a really good book that will kind of get you started on circle casting, and the Sabbats are also mentioned, stones, correspondences. You really can't go wrong with Scott, so definitely that's a good one. And then this one, which I actually picked up halfway into my path, was The Magical Household by Scott Cunningham and David Harrington. I'm mentioning this because if you're nervous about doing spells and you don't want to do anything too crazy right away, do stuff like this, like Thresholds of Power, blessing the threshold to, or like making a wreath to protect your home. There's stove and spoon spells in here. Like bathrooms, magical baths, right? Like this is stuff you can do without people really knowing about what you're doing. So I really recommend The Magical Household by Scott Cunningham if you're looking for some spells to start out with, because I don't feel like anything like this could backfire or cause you any problems. I finally, like the last little topic I guess I have is tools. And so again, we are the tool. We are the tool. We are the magic. Use what you have. So use what you have. Do you have rings? Like, do you have a diamond ring or an emerald ring or a pearl that someone gave you? You could use those. Do you have gold or silver? You can use that. What about rocks? Do you have a rock collection? I have a rock collection back there. You can barely see it. I'm not going to dig it out, but there's a rock collection back there. So what do you have that you can use without spending any money? Embrace nature. Wands, you can get those out in nature. My wands, well, you can kind of see them. There's the pink one, and then there's a couple other ones sticking out. All of those I've collected. I've never paid for a wand before. Easy to decorate, all kinds of stuff online, so you can definitely make your own wand. A couple tools that I do think are helpful, especially if you want to get into spellcraft right away, is the mortar and pestle, so you can grind up those herbs you found in your garden. You can also make incense that way, stuff like that. You probably want incense in an incense holder. You can make your own incense, super simple, or you can use the sticks like I'm using there. Because you're gonna want a little pizzazz, right? You don't want to just sit on the floor with nothing. So incense, it's fairly inexpensive. Candles, of course, in different colors, so you can look up your color correspondences. Different books have color correspondences in them. And your local herbs, right? Like all of that stuff. You can go to the grocery store, you can go to a garden center, or you can just look at what's in your yard. You'll be surprised. Tools that I don't think that you need, but you may want right away because they're pretty and shiny, is like an athame. I used an athame all the time. I even had a sword at one point. It wasn't a good look on me. Not that I'm judging anyone that uses one, but it wasn't for me. So I've realized that I prefer just using my hands. But again, that's just me. But don't feel pressure to buy an athame. Divination tools, use that as a way to reward yourself as you move further on your path. Don't feel like you have to become a tarot reader as soon as you started to realize you were a Wiccan or a witch. Give it time. Study your path. Get to know your path. Find your inner fiery, amazing goddess witch or god witch, and then worry about divination. You'll find what you're meant to do. Don't pressure yourself. Expensive stones, just wait, or find some outside, or just buy, like, there's inexpensive ones too, like amethyst, or you know, the little tiger's eyes and things. Don't feel like you need to buy some giant chunk of stone right away. Just, you know, baby steps. A Book of Shadows, which I love the Book of Shadows. Now, a Book of Mirrors, when you're first starting out, do that. Write things down. I didn't do that and I regret it. So write things down. Write down your rituals, write down your spells, write down your experiences so you have that to go on. And then once you feel secure and settled in your path, then start making your official big Book of Shadows, because then you'll already amassed a lot of information. So don't feel bad by using published Book of Shadows, using other people's books of shadows, going online. Don't feel pressure that you need this big book. That said, if you're artistic or you're someone who wants to create that, then do it. Do it. Go for it. But don't feel pressured. Don't make it into a thing where it has to be perfect right away. Your book is going to evolve as your path evolves. So don't pressure yourself. This is a no pressure zone. And last but not least, read. Again, I'm going to push you to read. I mean, come on. Read. Find out what books other witches are reading. See what kind of new books are out there. See what kind of old school books are out there. But read as much as you can. Read online. Get as much knowledge as you need. Trust yourself. You've got to trust yourself. If you have found this path and you feel happy and you feel secure, you're on the right path. Just trust that. And make it fun and enjoy this time. Enjoy this time of coming home. Enjoy this time of being on the path. Welcome. Welcome, little witchling and witches alike. Welcome. Just enjoy this time. Enjoy this time of magic. You are going to love it. You're going to look back at this time and it'll just be a special part of your life. So you're making memories right now. Enjoy it. Enjoy the ride. Let me know if you ever have any questions. You can email me. You can message me. And I'm always here to be a listening ear. And good luck on your search. And if you want to know more about this, just let me know. Thanks for watching and have an amazing magical day.